Hi everybody, welcome back. Today's class is going to be focused on the back body, so the posterior chain, and this will be amazing for all of you guys that spend a lot of time sat at a desk. It's going to be only about 20 minutes or so perhaps you can even squeeze it in on a lunch break, and I'm hoping that it will leave you feeling a little bit more nimble in the back, a little bit more flexible, a little bit more open, and also stronger down the back body as well. So into your glutes, into your hamstrings. As a result, you should feel a lot more space down the front body as well. So we're going to make a start lying down on our backs, feet about hip width apart. Let the arms come down by your side for a few rounds of breath. And bring the eyes down to a close, taking a few moments just to settle into this space. Arriving on your mat and arriving into your breath. Take any small little movements or fidgets that you need to do before settling into stillness. And whilst you're here, I want you to really start to bring your awareness to all parts of the body that are connected with the earth. So it will probably be the soles of your feet, the palms of your hands, the backs of your arms. And then the whole back of the torso, so the sacrum, perhaps a slight arch in the lower back, but then really pressing down through the back of the rib cage, the shoulder blades, and the back of the head. And I want you to really go beyond that awareness. Try and connect with what sensations you're experiencing right now. So what does the mat or the earth or the towel, whatever you're lying on, what does that feel like against your skin? Are there different textures? Are there different temperatures? Do you feel balanced within your weight distribution as you're lying here? Are you able to uphold length all the way along the spine? Or do you feel a little bit crooked, perhaps a bit lopsided? That's okay. And as you start to bring your awareness to the back body, see if you can emphasize this with your breath. So take your inhales into the back body as well. Feel that deepen the press down into the earth beneath you. And as you inhale and exhale, you might notice different parts of the body start to connect with the earth, or perhaps different parts of the body start to lift away from the earth as you exhale or inhale. Taking 3 more full rounds of breath here. Starting to find a relatively equal length to each inhale and exhale. Not forcing or complicating anything, just finding a rhythm that works and feels comfortable for you. And then whenever you're ready, flutter the eyes open. Start to really press down through those anchor points. So the base of the spine, that flat bone called the sacrum, the back of the rib cage, and also the back of your head. Spread the fingertips out nice and wide so that you've got a good surface area across the palms. Knees keep directing up towards the sky. And as you inhale, allow the belly to fully inflate like a balloon. And then as you exhale, draw the belly button back towards the spine. And as you do that, stand into both feet and slowly start to peel the hips, the lower back, the mid back, and finally the upper back, all the way up off the mat. Finding length all the way along the spine, so don't allow that belly to balloon out now. Keep that integrity through your core. Squeeze the glutes. You should feel this in your high hamstring glute connection. Imagine you've got a small ball in between your knees, so you're not allowing them to splay out. And keep pressing down firmly, especially through that big toe. Take 1 more breath here. Relax through the shoulders and chest. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly soften the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, and finally the hips and the glutes all the way down. Big inhale once again, inflate the belly. And exhale, we stand down into both feet, slowly peeling the spine up, bone by bone, vertebra by vertebra. This should feel really organic and progressive as it works its way up the spine. Shoulder blades remain connected. Really try to energize the back body, so make those muscles work. One more breath here. And exhale to softly release all the way back down. Notice whether you're trying to compromise. Is one side trying to lower down quicker than the other? Inhale, we relax at the bottom. Fill the belly up with breath. Exhale, slowly, slowly rippling the spine all the way up and off the mat. Good. So rather than thinking about trying to create a back bend with your spine here, think about trying to lengthen the spine. So send that length all the way down your chest, down the hips, down the thighs, and reach the knees towards the end of the mat. One more breath here. I hope you can already start to feel this down the backs of the legs. And use your exhale to slowly release down. This should feel like quite a good little massage all the way along the spine. Really make sure that you don't rush the last couple of moments especially. Good job, guys. One more like this. Inhale at the bottom, relax and fill the belly with breath. And exhale to slowly, slowly stand into both feet. Send the sit bones towards the knees and slowly start to reach the hips, the lower back, the mid back, and the upper back all the way up off the mat. Good job. Now, all we're going to do from here this time, we're going to keep the hips lifted. You're going to lift that right heel up off the mat. So standing into the ball of the right foot and then lower it back down. We're going to do 9 more on this side. For 8, for 7, for 6, 5, 4. Keep the rest of the body quiet. 2, 1. Good job. Let that heel come down. Move straight onto the left-hand side. So lift and lower that left heel. Good job. For 9. For 8. For 7. Really try and lift the heel. 5. 4. Hips stay level. Shoulders relaxed. Last one. Good job. Now from here, we're going to lower and lift the hips, but instead of releasing the spine down bone by bone, we're just lowering the glutes so they hover off the mat, and then we're driving back up. For 9, for 8, so it's a little bit quicker. For 7, using the glutes to really drive the hips up. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Big breath here. And exhale to slowly release all the way back down. Good job. If any of you guys, which I'm sure you have done Pilates with Louise in the past, this is a little bit inspired by her. So I know that hopefully you'll be feeling the burn like me. It's such an effective exercise. We're going to do that one more time. So collect yourself, gather yourself, and then take a big breath in through the nose. And slowly, slowly stand into both feet and start to peel the spine all the way up off the mat. So this time we'll start with the left heel. Keep pressing down firmly through the right foot, lifting and lowering that left heel down. It's a very simple movement. For 8, 7, 6. Keep lifting those hips up as much as you can. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Lower the left heel, lift and lower the right. For 9, 8, 7, 6. Keep drawing the belly button back towards the spine. Last 3, 2, 1. This time, before we lift and lower the hips, we're going to lift and lower both heels at the same time. So lifting the heels and lowering back down. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the heels lifted this time as you lower the hips and then drive back up. For 9, for 8, getting into those hamstrings and glutes. For 6, keep the movement slow and controlled. 4, 3, 2, 1, lift the hips up, let the heels float down, and then slowly, slowly release the spine all the way back down to the mat. Good job. Hug the knees up into the chest. Take a little bit of a rock from side to side. Squeezing the knees in nice and tight, relaxing through the glutes, through the backs of the legs. And then bring the knees together, place the hands behind the thighs, and we're going to rock up and down the spine. Take your time, enjoy this massage of all of the muscles that work so hard day in, day out to support the whole skeleton, really. And then whenever you're ready, cross the ankles, dial the hands forwards, and make your way into your tabletop position. So taking a moment just to set yourself up here, really pressing down firmly through the hands, spreading the fingertips out nice and wide, finding a slight grip of the fingertips. Hips above knees, shoulders above wrists, reach through the crown of the head. And then take a few rounds of your traditional, more linear cat-cow. So inhaling, letting the belly drop, spreading through the sit bones, pressing the heart forwards, and exhaling to dome and round, lifting the back body up towards the sky. Take 2 more full rounds like this. Last one. Good job. Come back to find stillness. We're now just going to isolate this movement into the shoulders and the shoulder blades. So instead of letting the belly join in and the hips and also the neck and the head, we're just going to allow the chest to drop down in between the arms and then press through the hands and try and lift the chest up, allowing the shoulder blades to spread away from each other. So let the chest drop, retract the shoulder blades. So try and squeeze or pinch your shoulder blades together and then press through the hands and allow those shoulder blades to spread, doming through the chest. 3 more like this. It doesn't look like much, but hopefully you're really starting to feel that heat being generated in the shoulder blades, especially. Good, last one. Amazing. Sit the hips back towards the heels, reach the arms out long, let the head rest down against the ground just for a couple of moments. And then whenever you're ready, we'll meet in our downward facing dog. So tuck all 10 toes under, slowly lift the hips up, pressing down firmly through both hands, finding length along the spine. Now we're going to continue to find a little bit of fluidity through the spine. So we're going to work with some spinal rolls here. So from your downward facing dog, come up onto tiptoes, lift the hips as high as you can, dome through the spine and start to stack your shoulders on top of your hips, eventually, sorry, not your hips, your wrists. That would be difficult. And eventually coming into your high plank. Now from here, let the knees drop down towards the earth, just hovering. Press through the hands and start to slowly, slowly ripple through the spine, lifting the hips back up into your downward dog. Good job. We're going to take 3 more like this. Inhaling to slowly come up onto tiptoes, ripple through the spine, doming through the back, think cat pose. And then bend through the knees, stick your bottoms up towards the sky, push through the hands and glide it back into your downward dog. Awesome, 2 more. Inhaling to come forwards. If you want to, you don't have to bend your knees as you press the hips back. You can just send the hips high and then allow the spine to slowly flow back into your downward dog. Last one. Use your breath. Amazing. Making your way back into your downward facing dog. And then rippling it forwards 1 more time into your high plank. Now, there's the option here to lower the knees, coming into a modified plank. We're going to come into what would be known in the gym as renegade rows. So pressing down firmly through that left hand. Try and keep your shoulders level. And we're going to just lift the right arm up, squeezing the elbow into the side body, and then lower it back down for 4. So squeeze the elbow into the side ribs, lifting the hand up and press it down. Last 3. Last 2. Last one, good job. You can, of course, lift your knees for that extra bit of spice. Press down firmly through the right hand this time. Lift that left arm up, bending through the elbow, tucking it into the side ribs, and lower back down. Try to stay as strong and steady as you can. Good, last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Amazing. Release that left hand down, lowering slowly, slowly all the way down onto the belly. Keep the elbows tucked in towards the side body. Once you're on your belly, untuck your toes. We're going to extend the arms out long in front of us. Palms facing down. Really try and reach through the toes and reach through the fingertips. Keep your forehead resting down against the earth. And then from here, we're just going to lift the left leg up and at the same time, lift the right arm up. Good. And then release them back down. So opposite arm to opposite leg. This time floating left arm up, right leg up. Good. We're going to go for 3 more on each side. So really driving down through the pubic bone. Squeeze the glutes as you float the opposite arm and leg up. And then release back down. Take your time here. Try not to rush. Last 2 on each side. Using your inhales to lift and your exhales to lower. Last one. Awesome, guys. Slide the hands back underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Option to use your knees or press up into your high plank. And then lift those hips all the way up and back, coming into your downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Reestablish that length along the spine. And then on your next inhale, look to the front of the mat. And as you exhale, we're going to take a few little bunny hops here. So I always get very out of breath after I teach these, but it's an amazing way to just build up the heart rate a little bit and get some energy moving around the body. So instead of thinking about trying to bring the feet forwards, think about trying to lift the hips up. And it doesn't matter how high you lift your feet, just take a few little hops until eventually you get to the front of the mat. So squeeze the heels in towards your bum. Really press down firmly through the hands. Last couple. Amazing. Reaching the front of the mat, feet are hip width apart. Inhale to find your halfway lift, hands can connect with the shins. Exhale to forward fold, take hold of opposite elbows with opposite hands. Find a gentle little sway from side to side. Feel that length down the back body. This can feel really restorative and good, especially if you're holding on to any tension in the spine or down the backs of the legs. If you spend a lot of time seated every day, the hamstrings especially can become tighter and tighter and shorter. So this is an amazing way to just release them, find a little bit of length. So bring a weight into the balls of your feet. Keep as much of a bend through the knees as you need to here. And try to keep the belly and the thighs connected. Amazing. Slowly release the hands back down to the earth. Now on your next inhale, we're going to find that halfway lift. And at the same time, we're going to reach the arms out wide. So we're trying to make the upper body pretty much parallel to the earth. And then we're going to reach the arms out wide, a little bit like wings, and squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then exhale to soften back down into the forward fold. Let the fingertips reconnect with the earth. We've got 4 more like this. Inhale, we lift up. Energize the back body, reach the fingertips wide. Exhale to slowly release back down. Last 3. Work with your breath. Last 2. It is perfectly normal to be feeling a lot going on down the backs of the legs. Last 1. Really energize those muscles across the top of the back. Exhale to release. Let the fingertips drop down to the earth. Press down firmly through both hands. Step it back into your downward facing dog.
And then drop the knees down or just cross the ankles and come to find seated position. If you want to take the knees, then just sweep the feet around to one side and then come to connect your sit bones with the earth. Reach the fingertips out long, press down firmly through both feet and slowly, slowly make your way all the way down onto your back. We're going to just finish with a little bit of a twist. Another lovely release for the back, especially if you spend a lot of time seated. So hug that right knee up into the chest, extend the left leg out long, squeeze the knee in tightly towards the chest, feel that compression on the hip crease. And then whenever you're ready, use your left hand to guide the right knee up and over. Right arm can extend out wide. If you're lucky, you'll get some clicks and clunks in the spine, quite literally releasing, creating space between the joints. You can keep looking up towards the ceiling or over your right arm, whichever feels comfortable for you. One more big breath here. On your next inhale, unravel from your twist, squeezing that right knee into the chest once again, and then swapping legs. So left knee draws in. Before you come into your twist, just make sure you give it a nice little squeeze so that you feel that gentle compression on the hip crease. This is a really great way to encourage all of those muscles to just slightly soften and release. And then you can use that right hand to guide the left knee up and over. Keep the left shoulder blade connected with the earth so that the chest remains broad, and look up towards the sky or over your left arm. Beautiful. Slowly unravel from your twist. One last little squeeze of that left knee. Bring the right knee in to meet the left. Take any final movements, wiggles, shapes, or postures here. And then either come to find your Shavasana if you have time. This is definitely what I would recommend, just letting the nervous system settle. And if not, then just rock your way up to a comfortable seat once again. Finding length along the spine, letting the shoulder blades really drop down and away from the ears, broadening through the chest, let the eyes come down to a close. Notice any shifts or fluctuations that you might be experiencing within the body right now. How do they compare to the start of the class? Do you have some fresh energy? What sensations are you experiencing in your body? Whenever you're ready, bring the hands to heart center, rest the thumbs lightly on your chest, bow your head. Thank yourself, as always, first and foremost, for making some time for your practice today, and therefore making time for yourself. And thank you so, so much for listening to me once again and allowing me to guide you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. A few sort of like Pilates and gym inspired exercises in there. So finding an equal mixture of strengthening, flexibility, a little bit of mobility in there as well. So I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Thanks so much.